Hey there, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So here we are at part 5 of the total serve. I want to revisit really quick what we got into in the previous video, which was really compiling the first 4 videos together and getting this really nice product where we've got Mark with an extremely nice downswing and rock, getting the shoulders prepped, getting the legs bent, seeing a nice jump. Haven't seen him really swing at the ball yet, but before we do, I want to look at variations because as all of you out there know, there's not one way to do it. There's things we have to do correctly to have a great serve, but there's not one way to do it. So the first thing I want to look at with variations would be stance. All right, and I alluded to this earlier. Mark and I both serve out of a platformer, more traditional stance. You're going to see Federer in this. You're going to see Djokovic in this. To me, this is the easiest way to start to achieve a great serve. So if you're just struggling with how you prep, I would suggest this. This is, again, where the feet stay apart, and Mark's going to go up into his motion without bringing his feet any closer together. Okay, let's see a couple more of those, Mark. We're seeing that nice acceleration up, and his stance, again, for him and myself, this is about comfort. This is how he serves most comfortably. It's how I serve most comfortably. What we have not looked at yet is a different style of stance, which would be more of this slide step or step up, and that's where a player, after rocking back, is going to drag the right foot forward. You see Nadal do this. You see Andy Murray do this. And they drag the foot up. John Isner is a great example of this. Right when that right foot drags up, that's when the player now jumps. And again, it's comfort. There's some players who just jump and swing more comfortably out of a narrower stance, and yet they start wide because that's a comfortable feeling at the start of the swing. So Mark, let's go ahead and give that a try where we're working on sliding that right foot up. And as soon as that foot gets near the left foot, we just push off. Same idea though. Still landing onto that lead foot, which is that left foot. Excellent swing right there, Coach Mark. Really solid. And while he's doing that so well, he doesn't serve that way because it's just not as comfortable for him as traditional. Okay, now, the other idea that we want to look at in terms of variation is backswing, how that racket gets up. So let's watch Mark's without kind of tipping you off to how he takes the racket back. And if you have a keen eye, you notice that his racket comes down here. It really kind of cuts across the tops of his shoes. I do this. Federer does this. A lot of these traditional servers, Sam Querrey, who we've worked with, drops that racket way down and then it climbs up the backside of his body before getting into his loop. That's really, Pete Sampras, that's my era. That was a guy I just tried to emulate my serve after. So having that traditional drop and bringing the arms up, I like the weightlessness at the start of the swing. The arms feel really relaxed. It's a great way to serve, but as we know, variations occur. Nadal is a guy who's taken that and said, you know what, I don't need all that drop. So he goes something a little more like this, where from Mark's ready position, it's like he's bringing the racket straight back to me back here. Perfect, kind of a slight drop, but go to an Andy Roddick. That was a serve, obviously one of the greatest of all time, with no downswing. He would go so compact, he'd just bring his arms immediately up. And while for me it's not comfortable, it was for him, and the value there is that with less wind-up, you take time away from your opponents. I think that was a really cool thing about Roddick's serve, as big as it was. From the starting position to his prep, took no time at all. He'd get guys off balance simply by how little time it took him to get the ball off his racket. Okay, so, again, variations. I never want players out there listening to my kind of lessons thinking, oh gosh, if I don't do it exactly this way, I guess I can't do it right. Everything we've looked at this week, I think you understand there's parts you have to have in your serve with stance, with take back, play around with it, see what suits you best, and go with that, okay? All right, and that's all I got for you today. Hope that was super helpful. Please click like below this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. As well as check down below me in the description of this video. You'll find the link to 3 free courses, longer extended versions of lessons that Mark and I put together. I think you'll find those really helpful as well. All right, so until next time, be well. We'll see you soon at Daily Tennis Lessons.